Throughout history, some estimates show there have been more than 2,000 reported claims of Mary, the Mother of God, appearing around the world. The vast majority of claims are unconfirmed by the Catholic Church. Following critical investigations, less than 30 apparitions have been officially approved.
The Queen of Heaven touched down here, right in front of you.
And in the U.S., there is only one church-approved Marian apparition. It took place in a tiny community many haven't heard of, Champion, Wisconsin.
A place of welcome, solace, and refuge.
Surrounded by farmland, about a 15-mile drive outside of Green Bay, a simple brick chapel is built over a shrine, marking the place where a poor, uneducated Belgian immigrant named Adele Bryce was visited 3 times in 1859 by the Virgin Mary.
The Queen of Heaven appeared here, which is really astounding.
Bishop David Ricken of Green Bay says Mary's message to Bryce in the American apparition was unique, in part because it focused on educating children in the faith. Mary said, "Gather the children in this wild country and teach them what they should know for salvation."
Teach them to make the sign of the cross. Teach them about Jesus. Prepare them for the sacraments. And so it's children focused. And that's a beautiful mission. And when you hear that kind of language, we're talking about catechesis, religious education. That's what Adele did.
For the rest of her life, Bryce carried out her mission, walking on foot for miles to spread the faith to children. As a lay woman, she never made religious vows, but insisted on wearing a habit. Others joined her in her mission, and a schoolhouse was built near the spot of the apparition so the children could gather. In her last appearance, the Virgin Mary parted with these words, "Go and fear nothing, I will help you." And so visitors to the apparition site have prayerfully asked for the help Mary promised, calling on her by the title Our Lady of Good Help. But while American Catholics may be familiar with church-approved apparitions in other parts of the world and Mary's titles associated with those places, like Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Fatima, and Our Lady of Lourdes, over all these years, many Catholics in the U.S., even in Wisconsin, have been unaware of what took place in Champion.
Sometimes people have never heard of this, even people in our own area.
That's why October 9th, 2023 marked a historic day in the history of this national shrine. On the 164th anniversary of the apparitions, a solemnity mass was celebrated, honoring the Blessed Mother for the first time as Our Lady of Champion, associating her with the very place she appeared.
Well, it truly is historic, I think, in the sense that we can honor her under a new title and sort of make her mission known better.
A new title for Mary, putting Champion, Wisconsin on the map.
The best kept secret in the world was over here for a long time.
Going forward, the new name could spark greater interest. For Pat Bershinger, a volunteer at the Our Lady of Champion National Shrine, family history is rooted deep in this holy ground.
I'm going to be 80 years old, and I started coming when I was about 3. So you do the math.
Bershinger is blind, but her memories are vivid. Her parents and grandparents would pray the rosary here on Sundays, and when she was a very young girl, her great-grandfather told her about a miracle. In 1871, 12 years after Mary appeared to Adele Bryce, the deadliest fire in U.S. history still to this day broke out in Wisconsin. The Peshtigo fire is estimated to have killed between 1,500 to 2,000 people or more, while burning 1 million acres of land. As the fire raged around Champion, Bryce and others in the nearby communities, including Bershinger's great-grandfather, a 7-year-old boy at the time, gathered around the chapel and prayed to the Virgin Mary.
They came here to the shrine to pray. They even took some animals along, according to what my great-grandfather told me.
The fire was engulfing the region, but it stopped right before the grounds here at Our Lady of Champion. Prayers were answered and rain began to fall.
The fire stopped right at the fence, and they were saved.
The day after the fire was the anniversary of Mary's apparition. Miraculous stories of her intercession continue to come out of Champion. There's one incredible account from James Gillis, who now has increased devotion to Mary.
Because of what she did for me.
In 2021, Gillis believed he needed an urgent colonoscopy. On multiple occasions, he had discharged large amounts of blood, but he was having trouble scheduling a medical procedure. All the while, he continued to pray.
I came here to the shrine asking Our Lady that she'd intercede and I would be healed from this, because it was I was getting concerned.
After leaving the shrine, his condition worsened. He rushed to the emergency room. He was losing more blood. Nurses tried to keep him conscious.
I started to go unconscious, and they were trying to keep me awake and all this stuff. But then when I was unconscious, then the Blessed Mother was right there. I had this deep impulse to totally surrender myself into her hands, because I knew that I was going, that I wouldn't be around. It was the most incredible, beautiful experience.
Gillis firmly believes he was on the brink of death, with Mary leading him into heaven. But as he began to pray for the loved ones he'd be leaving behind, he thought of his wife, and he wasn't ready to leave just yet.
And that's when I pleaded with her to live. And, she heard my prayer.
He gained consciousness and later learned the doctor wasn't sure he'd survive. But a follow-up procedure found no issues, and a healthy James Gillis now enjoys the grounds of Our Lady of Champion with his wife. And so do families who might come for special masses or evening prayer walks.
So I think as Catholic parents, we have a duty to pass on our faith.
The Blessed Mother's message to Adele Bryce to teach the faith to children still rings out.
If we're to ensure the next generation of Catholics, then we need to do that. Daily prayers, weekly mass, all those things that are so important.
A path to holiness will continue to be forged here in a unique way, especially as the shrine will be a stop on one of the pilgrimage routes next summer, leading to the National Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis, an event years in the making open to all Catholics to renew love for Christ fully present in the Eucharist.
The closer you get to Mary, the closer you're going to get to Jesus, and especially his presence in the Eucharist.
So whether this is your first time hearing of Our Lady of Champion or not, know a warm Wisconsin welcome has been officially extended.
Oh, come visit, come. We'd love to have you. And the peace here, everybody tells me they receive the gift of peace.
Mark Irons, EWTN News In Depth.